Yeah, you guys aren't losing your mind. You aren't going crazy. For those of you who may have been wondering, and some of you may have forgot, the GDL is still going on. It's actually finished at this point. So give me a second here. And as you can see on the top left screen, this is the final placements for playoffs. Now, quick little run through of what happened with GDL. I'll put a little time skip here so you guys can jump into the team builder for the first game or the actual battle itself. But after like week 5 or 6, I think that's when Land Timer kind of had some issues and whatnot. That's also what kind of affected APA, but I'm gonna be uploading like an actual update video and stuff probably later this week or sometime this weekend, hopefully. But yeah, GDL was continuing through all the issues. It did get finished and whatnot. Now, unfortunately, the GDL Twitter hasn't really been too active. A part of that has been on my end. But honestly, I really do want to do a second season of GDL. But if I do that second season, I definitely want to kind of focus more on being strict about stuff. And that's where I kind of feel like I kind of led up there. Like my co-founder, AA2420, if it wasn't for him, things might still be in a little bit of a debacle right now. So shouts out to him. Awesome dude. But yeah, so GDL currently at this state when this is uploaded is finished, and we were able to make it the playoffs. Now this video is going to consist of my round 1, possibly round 2 playoff game, and if we win our semifinals game, then we'll make it to finals. Now, I don't want you guys to skip straight to the end and just kind of be some lazy bums. I would rather you guys watch this video, and if you enjoy it, leave a like. If you don't, I guess leave a dislike. I don't know. Leave a comment letting me know why you don't like this video. I don't know. Tell me. Don't just leave a dislike and just leave. Like, let me know why you don't like it. Let me know what I should improve about it. But yeah, so we had an amazing roster for season 1. Honestly, I really hope a lot of these guys come back for season 2. Unfortunately, my boy Archisel9, some of you guys from the olden days will know who I'm talking about, ended up dropping a bit after midway through the season just because Draft League was a bit more time consuming than he had expected, which is fine. Like, I understand that. Still love Rylan to death, so it's fine. Regardless, though, everybody else was amazing through this season. Everybody was awesome, and I'm hoping most of them, if not all of them, will be able to come back for a potential season 2, which again, I really do want to do a season 2. If I do a season 2 of GDL, I'm definitely going to be more consistent, more focused, and more, I don't want to say strict because that makes me feel kind of bad, but I really wasn't entirely too serious with this season 1 because like season 1, everybody knows what they're doing. It's fine. So yeah, if there's a season 2, things will run more smoothly. The Twitter itself will be more active and all that shenanigery. But yeah, so as we can see here for the final standings of the season, the Miami Ments, coached by Ogolbina, OG Albina, however you want to pronounce it, ended up winning first overall for the regular season, and then second overall was Diet Tight, so they got a bye week for the playoffs. So it was down to me finishing 3rd overall, my boy Monotui finishing 4th overall, Frosted finishing 5th overall, and Mewtwo Fan Nate, or as he's known as now, Galvanate, finishing 6th overall. So because Ogolbina and Diet Tight won 1st and 2nd overall, they got a bye week. So that meant that I was facing New York Noibats for round number 1, and Monotui was facing Frosted, coach of the Copenhagen Salzbucks, for round number 1 of his and her playoff game. So yeah, that's basically what this video will consist of. If we win our round 1 match, then we'll go on to semifinals. So again, you can be a poor sport and just be a lame boy and skip to the end and find out what happens, or you can watch the video and leave a comment and you'll be awesome. So yeah, GDL did finish Twitter will be more active definitely for Season 2. Again, I really personally want to do a Season 2 after the DLC comes out next month, which is in June, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it's June. Pretty sure it's not July, or if it is July, it's like super early July, but I'm pretty sure it's June. So I'm hoping that if there is a second season, we can kind of get that started in July or late mid-June-ish after the expansion comes out, which in itself would be absolutely amazing because I would be so excited to use all these awesome new mons on Wi-Fi. So yeah, if you guys do want to see a season 2, let me know. Leave a comment down below, leave a like on this video. Please let me know, like honestly, let me know if you watch this whole thing, because if you do, then that would honestly make me feel so amazing, because I honestly, a part of me feels like there's no way that anybody's gonna sit through this entire video or watch this entire thing in general. Like if you watch it in parts, I don't care about that. Let me know if you watch just the whole thing in general. However you do it, you watch it half. If you watch like 1/3 one day, 1/3 3 days from now, or in the third of it a month from now, let me know. Like I would love to know if you honestly watch this entire thing. So please let me know. With that being said, let's jump into our round 1 playoff game for the GDL. Alright, so for those of you who might have skipped to this point in the video, que pasa YouTube? How's it going, guys? Half for y'all today. My round 1 playoff match of the GDL. Now, obviously, if you didn't see the beginning of the video, then you won't know what is going on with this upload and what's been going on with the GDL. Hopefully, I had kept it kind of short, so you guys, if you have a few minutes, check that out, and then you won't be so lost. But yeah, GDL was still happening. GDL still wrapping up, and we were able to make it to the playoffs after ending the season, I think 6-2, I want to say. It was either 6-2 or 5-3. I don't know. I'll probably mention this in the actual little update portion of it, which I haven't recorded yet, but I'm going to do that after I do this because I want to get this up on Wednesday along with the other games potentially. So yeah, don't want to make this entirely too long. But for our first round playoff match, we are actually facing the very first team we played the entire season here in week 1, and that is against my very good friend Mr. Galvanate, formerly known as Mewtwo Fan Nate. Check him out, channel link and stuff will be down below. He actually is streaming more on Twitch as opposed to uploading, so I think he's got a link to his Twitch and his YouTube, so definitely check them out. If not, then I'll leave a link to his Twitch down below, so check him out. Awesome dude. Love Nate, one of my best friends here on the YouTube. So this is going to be pre-home, so kind of keep that in mind as I'm explaining sets. Hopefully I'm not going to be spending entirely too much. So this match is going to be post-com because at the time I wasn't able to do the live com. So yeah, quickly looking at this matchup, I have a few mons on my squad that I didn't have in our initial week 1 matchup. For example, I no longer have Claydol or Clefable. I think there's also something else I don't have, which is Thievul. So yeah, I don't have Thievul, Claydol, and Clefable. I now have Grimmsnarl, Durant, and Lunatone as my Dynamax captain, which Lunatone is not that good in this matchup, mainly for the fact that his Dynamax captain is the Drifblim, which will beat me 1v1. Also, he has Crawdon. I know Nate loves Crawdon. Crawdon was such a murderous monster for him through this season, so I definitely expect that to come, so don't really care to bring my Dynamax Mon. But we do have the Darmanitan Galar form, which is amazing regardless of most likely what matchup I have with it, because it's definitely coming most or all matchups, honestly. But going into this game, the same initial problems were from our week 1. Mew with Dragon Dance is terrifying. Luckily, it doesn't get soft bolt or roost or anything like that pre-home, which makes it a little bit more manageable. The Crawdon still kind of violates my existence, so that could be really annoying. Webs from Vikavolt is also really problematic. I know he loves Lucario, so I fully expect that to come, whether it be Swords Dance or Nasty Plot. I'm not entirely too sure, just because both are really good. Sylveon is also super annoying. I'm a little bit scared that he does bring the Indeedee this time, just because Mew in Psychic Terrain after a Dragon Dance or 2 is absolutely terrifying. But much like week 1 of the original season, I don't want to allow that Mew to ever freely set up or give it a chance to just constantly keep boosting. So I need to be very careful with that. Drampole is annoying, especially offensive wise, and I'm not sure if he brings Runerigus or not. I guess he kind of needs to bring Runerigus or Vileplume, because without either of those two, then Heliolisk just kind of goes in. So let's take a look here at our first team member, which is going to be, of course, Keith Lee. Bask in the glory of Galar Darmanitan here. The idea behind this set, now, I think in week 1 I originally brought Choice Scarf, but this time we're bringing Banded, and with this attack investment, we reach Jolly Max physical attack, which means we can kind of invest into our speed and a little bit into our bulk. Physical bulk, because he does have potential of bringing Bullet Punch Lucario and Aqua Jet Crawdon, so we want to take physical hits as well as possible. I believe this speed is enough speed for the Drifblim, because outside of that, there's not really much else I needed to speed creep. I think with that, I basically outspeed everything except for the Lucario and the Mew, which Lucario I already figure is going to hit me with a Bullet Punch. If he has Vacuum Wave, well, then I just die anyways, but I'd rather deal with a special Lucario than a physical Lucario. So, hey, if I can take a Bullet Punch, that's amazing. So all 4 moves basically murder everything. Since we're Banded, Icicle Crash is going to destroy him. The Lucario and the Crawdon are not a resist to Banded Max Attack Icicle Crash. Well, basically Banded Max Attack, just because, again, this is Jolly Max Attack, if I'm not mistaken, with this investment and then Adamant Nature. So our next team member is going to be Jericho. The same Steel Volley that we brought week 1, except that I think I put Thunder Wave over U-Turn potentially, just because I realized in our first game, U-Turn really wasn't that helpful, so Thunder Wave could be nice to slow down the Mew, maybe paralyze the Lucario, also any of his other speedy threats, like maybe a boosted Drifblim if its Unburden has been activated or something along those lines. Plus, if he does have webs, then this is kind of helpful if I do lose my Defogger, which of course is going to be Nate himself, our Noivern. Now, pre-home Noivern is absolutely insane in my opinion. This thing was so phenomenal in the season. It's to the point where I realized that I don't even need to run Roost on Noivern whatsoever, thanks to heavy duty boots. All I need Noivern to do is come in, get rid of hazards, do damage, and take 1 hit, which it does perfectly well because of the fact that you can always invest into its bulk because of how insanely fast it is. So the speed is enough for the Mew, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the Lucario, one or the other, but most likely the Mew, so I can taunt him, stop him from just Dragon Dancing for free. Hurricane and Flamethrower hit basically everything for neutral or super effective damage. Yeah, I can touch the Sylveon, but I have a Steel Volley for that, and Darmanitan's Choice Banded Icicle Crash does so much damage. It's insane, and then Flamethrower is able to nuke the Lucario if needed, and then Defog is mainly just for webs, but I guess Stealth Rocks are also nice to get rid of for our Darmanitan. The next team member that we have here is going to be Jiraiya, aka Seismitoad, running a more physically defensive set. I think the first set I brought for week 1 was more of a speedy tank set, but here I have more of a physically defensive set, just because this still kind of does the same thing that I needed to do. I just need this to be around to deal with the Crawdon, and once Crawdon is gone, hopefully this had been able to get a Brox, and then from there I can just kind of sack it off. And Toxic is just for status. Scald also status and stab, and then Earth Power absolutely murders the Lucario if it really comes down to it. Our next team member is going to be Okada, running a nice Life Orb set. I think I brought Life Orb Heliolisk week 1. I want to say I brought some type of Heliolisk week 1. Hold on. Yeah, so week 1 I brought Extra Belt Heliolisk as opposed to this time where I'm bringing Life Orb. The nice thing about Life Orb is that I realized in my week 1 game that taking that extra little bit of damage every time I'm switching in and out doesn't necessarily matter, just because me doing that extra bit of damage is going to be extremely helpful. The extra little bit of damage allows me to absolutely murder Runerigus unless it's like max Spadef, max HP with leftovers, and even then I can still chip it down. Hyper Voice, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch are all great damaging moves in their own right. Volt Switch is also just downright amazing if I can predict around the Runerigus or once Runerigus is gone. Even though I might be taking Stealth Rock damage along with Life Orb damage, I'm still getting that extra little bit of damage, which is really helpful for my Darmanitan, for my Steel Volley, and even for my Noivern. So yeah, didn't really feel like taking the extra damage would be that big of an issue. And then our final team member here is going to be Nido, aka Grimmsnarl, which I believe I had originally brought a Clefable over this Mon here. But the nice thing about Grimmsnarl in this matchup is thanks to Priority, or Prankster I should say, Prankster, Priority, Reflect, and Thunder Wave, this should allow Mew to never ever be a problem, and it should never be able to sweep me. Now if he has something like Nasty Plot Lucario, that could be a little bit annoying, or if he has nasty plot agility Mew that could also be a little problematic. But, well, actually, does it still get nasty plot plus agility? But I want to say it does, because I'm pretty sure what I factored in was that if he does not run 3 offensive moves, and something that I have on my team is going to wall him regardless. So I figured Dragon Dance made the most sense, so that's why I went with Reflect. Also, the nice thing about Reflect is that it helps me against the Crawdaunt if I lose my Seismitoad or if it's extremely weak. And then between Spirit Break and Darkest Lariat, it hits everything for pretty good damage. Plus Thunder Wave in itself is able to paralyze the Lucario and the Mew and the Drifblim as well. I don't think it works on Crawdaunt because it is a Dark type and we're Prankster Thunder Waving it, but still we can Reflect, take a hit, then Spirit Break it for some pretty good damage. So yeah, that's the team. With that being said, let's jump into the battle. Alright, so I put a time skip in the team builder. If you're here, que pasa YouTube. I promise that's gonna be the last time I say it. If you've seen this video from the very beginning until now, that's the last time I'll say it. But yeah, what's up? How's it going, guys? If you enjoy this, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about Dynamax or Gigantamax in Draft League format. Some leagues have experimented with both. Let me know if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing. And yeah, I would be interested to see what you guys have to say about it. So with that being said, let's take a look here at our matchup. This is round 1 of the GDL playoffs against my very good friend Galvanates, aka Nate. His Twitch and YouTube will be down in the description, and definitely check him out. So looking at the team preview here, the first thing I was surprised that he did not bring was the Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt was something I was fully expecting, so the fact that that did not come was a little bit of a relief, just because I no longer have to worry about it aqua jetting or just knocking off or just going for Crab Hammer with adaptability, potentially Life Orb or Choice Banded too. Well, actually Choice Banded would be a little bit harder to play around. Well, not play around, sorry, for him to play with, just because it's easy for me to play around Choice. But if it was Life Orb, it just came in and absolutely mollywop something on my squad. So yeah, no Crawdaunt is really good. Also, I was a little bit relieved to see that he did not bring the Indeedee, so I don't have to worry about Mew in the Psychic terrain. So looking at potential leads here, honestly, I figured that my Darmanitan just kind of bodies everything. I'm a Choice Banded with Guerrilla Tactics. Lucario, if it's not a lead, is not switching in. I doubt he'll lead Mew just because he might be some type of setup variant. So I figured he could lead either the Sylveon, Vikavolt, or the Runerigus, and from there, again, nothing wants to take what is essentially a +2 stabbed Icicle Crash. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So he's going to be leading off with the Vikavolt, as I end up leading off with my Darmanitan. And not going to lie, the fact that he lit off with the Vikavolt is a little bit annoying, just because he might want to go ahead and get up his Sticky Webs. Now I do have Defog on my Noivern, so they're not necessarily the worst thing ever, but it might force me to try to bring in my Noivern a little bit earlier than I would like to do so. Regardless though, I'm going to go straight for the Icicle Crash and absolutely murder something, as it turns out that he is indeed Focus Sash, and this is pretty much a worst case scenario, because if he did go for the webs, then they're basically here to stay. I guess another annoying thing would have been the fact that he could have gone for the Thunder Wave, but I figured, hey, I'm just going to murder this and Oko it with Icicle Crash, and Focus Sash did kind of escape my mind at the moment. So I go for the Icicle Crash, as I get really lucky, I'm not going to lie, and I get a flinch. I offered to restart, but he said, nah, it's fine. And I love Nate. Thank you for him being a good sport and not wanting to restart, which, hey, I offered, okay, I'm sorry, I offered, but he said no. So yeah, I get the flinch, which means I basically block Sticky Webs, and now I can go for an Icicle Crash once again, as in comes Lucario. Look at this damage. You see this damage? Hold on. You see this? Right here. 80%. It's not very effective. The opposing Woke lost 79.3% of his health. Hold on. I wanna watch that again. We're gonna watch that again in really slow. Okay, watch this. Look at this. Ooh, just look at it. Just wait. The anticipation. Terrakion. Ooh, that nice 79.3% to Lucario. That is insane, man. Darmanitan is absolutely insane. So, fearing the potential Vacuum Wave, or the Bullet Punch, I suppose, I don't want to stay in here. I figure that because my Noivern is at full HP, I should be able to bring it in pretty carefully, as it turns out that he has the agility. And I'm not going to lie, this really caught me off guard. I never thought he would bring agility Lucario. And the fact that this does have agility is really scaring me, because if he does have the Ice Punch, then obviously I don't want to stay in. But I don't know if he's going to be physical or special, but I figured that the only real moves he can go for here are Flash Cannon, Meteor Mash, or Ice Punch, if he has any of those 3 moves. So regardless of that, I don't think he's going to go for something like a Close Combat or an Aura Sphere. So I figured that right here, my best switch in is to bring in Seismitoad just to see what he has, as it turns out that he's Life Orb with the Ice Punch and he gets knocked out by the Rocket Helmet, which is insane, because now I no longer have to worry about something that could have potentially swept me a late game, and I really lost nothing in getting rid of it, which is amazing. So in comes the Vikavolt. I don't really know if he has the Energy Ball or not, but depending on his speed, I could actually still be faster than him. So I figured that if anything, he might try to want to get some mileage out of this Vikavolt and still just get up his Stealth Rocks, because even if he knocks me out, with him not having the Crawdon, my Seismitoad is not nearly as useful for me. So I'm just going to stay in, go for the Scald, as it turns out that I'm faster than him and I'm able to finish him off, as in comes the Drifblim. This thing could be a little bit of a problem depending on what set it is. I was really scared of Sub Toxic, but if he Dynamaxes, because this is his Dynamax captain, then the Sub would be gone. So I figured that he probably won't go straight for a substitute here. So what I can try and do is go for the Toxic just to try and wear him down a little bit. As it turns out that he's Calm Mind, which is a little bit scary, but not necessarily the worst thing ever, as he crits me with the Max Mind Stream. This crit did matter, but in the long run, it's not necessarily that important. The only real thing that would have happened was that I would have been able to go for the Scald, get off a little bit more damage, and rack up Toxic on him. But the thing about this, though, is that I noticed his Unburden does not activate, which means what I can do now is bring in my Darmanitan and look at his team. I pretty much get a kill. Sylveon's not switching in. Runerigus is definitely not switching in. He's not going to risk Mew to try and come in just to save this and waste his Dynamax. Basically, something is gonna get murdered. I outspeed this. He doesn't have the Unburden boost. Pick a fodder, any fodder, it does not matter. As down goes the Drifblim, Galar Darmanitan put on the squad on his back as he just dies to the Flare Blitz from the Mew. Honestly, the main reason I stayed in was because I thought that maybe he would expect me to be fearing a offensive move, because this is Mew in terrain. A Z Headbutt absolutely destroys me. Plus, I could have easily switched into my Grimmsnarl in case he could have gone potentially for something like the Substitute, which would have been annoying. It would have blocked my Thunder Wave, so it would have forced me to try and go for the Reflect. And then from there, my best way to hit it is Darkest Lariat. So yeah, regardless, I stand by this play just because, yeah, I guess I could have brought in my Darm on the Runerigus or the Sylveon. It's just better for me to not allow this Mew to just freely get any type of setup, whether it be Sub, Dragon Dance, a Nasty Plot if it learns it, or Agility, I suppose. So yeah, I stand by this play. I do lose Darmanitan, but it did so much work already in 9 turns, as I'm able to do 43% to him with the recoil as I go for the Dark Pulse here. Turns out that this Runerigus is super Spadef bulky, but I got a really high roll with that Dark Pulse. Now at the time I didn't really notice it. It just, when I went back to rewatch this, I checked the calc, and this is definitely running a whole lot of special defense investment. So because he's not running leftovers, I figure, okay, I can just Dark Pulse again as he switches into the Sylveon. I guess I could have predicted that, but honestly, Dark Pulse was a safer play, just because once Runerigus is gone, I basically just pressure him a lot with my Heliolisk. So I go for the Volt Switch on the Sylveon as he hits me with the Mystical Fire. This is fine. If you look at his team at this point in the match, much like Darmanitan earlier, nothing is gonna switch in to a base 120 stab multi-attack. Runerigus took so much damage earlier, I 2-hit KO him. The Sylveon at this point, I can OHKO, unless, as you see here, he's Babiri Berry. And then Mew is also not going to want to hard switch in directly to any type of offensive move. So even though this Sylveon does end up living and does a little bit more damage to my Silvally, it's really not the worst thing ever because I'm able to get rid of it. And this opens up my Noivern now to be a giant issue, as in comes the Mew. Much like earlier, I don't want this to just freely set up, so I go for the Thunder Wave as he knocks me out, allowing me to bring in Heliolisk. And at this point, the match is basically over. There's no way that Runerigus can beat the combination of my last 3 mons. So it turns out that he lives the the Dark Pulse there, so I guess the match is a little bit closer as I bring in my Noivern here, knock him out with the Hurricane, and we are able to advance to the semifinals of the GDL, which will be coming up right now after this match. So yeah. Alright, what's up guys, how's it going? We have our semifinals match here for the GDL playoffs. Now, unfortunately, again, this playoff match is going to be done on Showdown, and I'm pretty sure I went over everything in the beginning of the video. Honestly, I don't know how long this is going to be. For those of you who have watched the whole thing, I thank you so much. You guys are amazing, especially for supporting the channel how you have been doing. Or if you maybe just watch one match and then a few days later you come back and watch the next one. Either way, thank you so much. Love your guys' support. If you do enjoy this, then you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button down below. Leave a comment as well. Really do love you guys and appreciate y'all. So this match itself is actually live commed. Now, at the time that this match happened, I don't think I had my new mic, and then this was also when I just had a lot of stuff going on, and just, yeah, so the tone might be a little bit different than from me here talking in this team builder, because I feel like I'm in a much better mood and way less stressed. So yeah, we were able to win round 1 of the playoffs, which is amazing because I was just happy making it to playoffs in general. I told myself, if I make playoffs, then it is what it is. I'm perfectly fine with that, and we were able to win round 1, which is amazing. So at this point, I think we are facing Dietite, which ended 2nd overall, which is pretty good. He does upload Draft League content, so definitely check him out. I've only played Di once before, so going into this game, I was pretty excited because I know he definitely wants some vengeance against me because I was able to beat him in APA Clash of Kings Season 1, so hopefully this will be a really good game. So quick look here at the team preview. This team, I'm not gonna lie, is absolutely terrifying. And the main thing that makes it so terrifying is that his Dynamax captain is Turtonator, which in theory, like, well, on paper, you see Turtonator and it's like, oh, it's super slow. Yeah, it's got decent bulk, but the fact that when it shell smashes, it's not the fastest thing ever. So it's really not that big of an issue. But then you factor in that it can Dynamax, double its HP, do ridiculous damage with its great stab coverage, and on top of that, it already gets rapid spin. So going into this match, I was thinking, like, what's worst case scenario that happens? He rapid spins with Turtonator and then he shell smashes. He's at +3 speed, he Dynamaxes and just obliterates my draft. So I need to be very careful with that. That was like the main thing I thought about when I was building for this draft. Like, yeah, Excadrill's annoying. I can deal with Excadrill. It's fine. Hippowdon and Arcanine, super bulky. I can deal with him. I'm not worried about him. Gyarados, a little bit terrifying, but hopefully I don't give it a free chance to set up, so not really too worried about that. Girder, Whimsicott, Skuntank, and Haunter, I was like, okay, yeah, they can maybe come do some damage. Still wouldn't be the worst things ever that I need to prepare for. Mainly, I was terrified of the Turtonator because it can easily sweep me, the Excadrill, the Gyarados, and the Hippowdon plus Arcanine. Galvantula, I guess, could come, but in my round 1 playoff game, my opponent tried to bring webs, and even though I did flinch the Vikavolt, I still have Defog, or I still had Defog on my Noivern, I should say. And I'm pretty sure I've ran Defog every single time on Noivern that I brought it. So if he does bring the Galvantula, I should be able to play around webs regardless. So let's take a look here at our first team member, which is going to be Nate the Noivern, the person that we beat round 1 in GDL playoffs. Is going to hopefully be able to put in a lot of work for us going into the game. So as I mentioned, my biggest fear going into this match, or the main thing I prepped for, was going to be a Turtonator that had rapid spun and then got up a shell smash and Dynamaxed. And the nice thing about this Noivern is that if Turtonator is a +3 speed and is Timid max speed, with Timid max speed Noivern holding a Choice Scarf, we speed tie with +3 max speed Turtonator. Now obviously that is kind of reaching and being extremely safe, but that was like worst case scenario, that Turtonator comes in, a rapid spin kills something, so it's at full HP, which actually I guess it would never be at full HP, but depending on how things go, it might have been able, like if I lock myself into Flamethrower, Turtonator could come in, rapid spin, go for a shell smash, live a hit, and then Dynamaxes to +3. So in a sense, yes, this Noivern could let Turtonator set up, but at the same time, it also still checks Turtonator if it rapid spins and then shell smashes. So there is a good chance it will not be max speed or get to +3 speed. Regardless though, I want it to be safe. And the nice thing about this too is that this is able to outspeed max speed Excadrill in the sand, if I'm not mistaken. Either it's got to be adamant guaranteed, or I think it outspeeds Jolly. I'll put some text on the screen just to verify, because it's been a while since I made this team. So yeah, now another thing about this Noivern too is that in the actual match itself, I had Dragon Pulse, but I meant to have Draco Meteor because I changed it the night before to Dragon Pulse, but because I keep regular Showdown open and sports.prism.us open, which is what like APA Clash of Kings and DPL uses, and a bunch of other Draft League players use sports over Showdown. Sometimes when we change something on a regular Showdown or on sports, it doesn't change back, or it doesn't change accordingly. So yeah, in the actual match itself, I have Dragon Pulse over Draco Meteor, which kind of sucks because Draco is still able to do a lot of damage. Obviously, it does still have drawbacks because it could let something potentially come in, set up, or get up a substitute. So I still have to be careful with Draco Meteor, which is what I was initially thinking after changing it, but I figured the extra damage would be really handy over just being able to spam a neutral Dragon Pulse. So Hurricane, Flamethrower, Draco Meteor hit everything. Defog is mainly just there for webs from the Galvantula, just because I don't want to risk it. I really don't care if he doesn't bring Galvantula, or if webs aren't very likely. I still need to be careful with the webs. So our next team member here is going to be Laura, aka Lunatone. Also, our Dynamax captain, rocking a very interesting set. I really wasn't too sure what kind of Lunatone I wanted to bring to this match, but I figured some type of either Rock Polish or Trick Room variant would be a little bit better. And honestly, because he does have the Excadrill, I figured Trick Room is more than likely the way that I need to go with this Lunatone. I think the only things on his team that outspeed my Lunatone are Turtonator and the Girder. Well, that's if we're in Trick Room, the only things that outspeed me are Turtonator and Girder because they're slower than me. But I figured Girder shouldn't be an issue. Turtonator, I think if it's max speed, I outspeed in Trick Room regardless, which I figure he's going to want to run a lot of speed on Turtonator regardless. So even if it's Girder outspeeding in Trick Room, a Psychic is going to be absolutely murdering it. And a part of me also really didn't expect Girder just because of how free Lunatone came in against it and allowed me to Dynamax. And between Dual Stab and Earth Power, I basically had everything for neutral or super effective damage. I think I originally wanted either Blizzard or Ice Beam, but I figured being able to hit the Excadrill for super effective damage would be really, really handy because that's one less offensive threat I need to deal with. Plus, I still hit the Turtonator for really good damage, which is also a huge plus. Although I do have Power Gem for that, Earth Power is just a nice little middle ground move if I put myself in that scenario. And then I have Papa Berry, in a sense, allowed me to kind of get two uses out of Lunatone, whether it be in the Dynamax form or potentially just as a normal offensive Lunatone. So our next team member here is going to be Jiraiya, aka Seismitoad, rocking a nice tank-ish spread here. Now, the nice thing about Seismitoad is that with this special attack investment and a modest nature, no way should Gyarados ever be able to use me as setup fodder. In that sense, if it's sub Dragon Dance, which is what I'm absolutely terrified of, honestly. That was like the main set I was really, really scared of going into this game. There's no way that it should ever be able to set up a free substitute against me, and then from there I can chip it down, weaken it, or play around it accordingly. Scald and Earth Power also do really good damage with this special attack investment, and then Stealth Rocks are of course Stealth Rocks. So our next team member is going to be Assault Vested Selvali, which is nice because this allows me to check a lot of his specially offensive threats: the Haunter, a special Skuntank, the Whimsicott, the Galvantula, and Turtonator as well. This acts as an amazing backup check to Turtonator if for some reason I've lost my Noivern, or if Noivern is locked in the Flamethrower, then I definitely hard switch directly into Selvali, because even at +2 Dynamax, I should always live any one hit, and then in return Draco Meteor does so much damage to the Turtonator, and if I'm able to weaken it enough, I'm able to actually knock it out with the Draco, which is absolutely amazing. I believe the speed EVs are enough to outspeed Gyarados max speed Jolly guaranteed, or a Gyarados speed creeping something on my team. Regardless though, Gyarados should be outsped by this. And then from there, Hyper Voice and Surf are last two moves, because between this and everything else, we're able to hit everything for neutral or super effective damage, which is always really good, because Silvally definitely can be a huge key mon in this matchup. So our next team member is going to be Keith Lee, aka Galar Darmanitan. Now this is the first time I think I've never shown Galar Darmanitan as my first mon, and main thing about that is that I don't quite remember what this EV spread was for. I want to say that with 129 speed, we outspeed Galvantula guaranteed, because I wasn't too sure on whether or not he would bring a Scarf Mon. Or, no, it's either Galvantula or Whimsicott. I want to say it's actually Whimsicott, because that's his fastest Mon. So either Galvantula or Whimsicott, we're guaranteed to outspeed. And then in return from there, we basically outspeed everything else. I think I originally was going to go with enough speed to outspeed a Dragon Dance Gyarados, but I figured that I probably had enough to cover that. So I kind of wanted the extra power from Adamant, and then we can add a little bit of bulk into our physical defense if we need to take something like an Extreme Speed or Sucker Punch, maybe even a Mach Punch from the Mons on his team that run coverage respectively. So Zen Headbutt is there, of course, just for the girder. Rock Slide, I think, hit the Gyarados along with the Turtonator and the Arcanine. U-Turn for momentum. Icicle Crash is basically free once Arcanine is gone, so that's going to be really awesome as well. And then our final team member here is going to be Naito, aka Grimmsnarl, and I remember spending so much time on this Grimmsnarl set. So the idea behind this set, I know I have max speed with this set, but the thing about this is that if his Arcanine is just physically defensive, running little to no speed, I think it's got to run a whole lot of Speedy Vs to get past 123. Yeah, it's got to run a good amount of Speedy Vs if it's just purely defensive, which, to be honest, there's not much merit for him to bring an offensive Arcanine. So the idea was that I can use Arcanine as a setup fodder for this Mon, because I can bulk up as he tries to bring it in against me, and he thinks, oh, well, I can use a Will-O-Wisp, right? And then from there, I show him the Stomping Tantrum if I'm able to put him in range, and then knock him out, and I'm able to potentially sweep with this late game. Sucker Punch absolutely smacks the Excadrill at +1, which is amazing. Also the Galvantula, as well as potentially the Haunter. Spear Break is there to just be able to hit everything else that Sucker Punch would not be able to do damage to, and then Stomping Tantrum was mainly just for the Arcanine and the Turtonator, if I'm not mistaken. I think I kind of wanted Power Whip, but I figured that I should be able to get rid of the Hippowdon or weaken it to the point where he might just bring it in against me to sack off. I bulk up for free, then knock him out from there. So obviously I don't want to just throw this in early in the battle. This is definitely my win condition. This is what I want to try and build to be able to come in, set up, and potentially sweep. So yeah, that's the team. With that being said, let's get into the battle. GDL stuff. Yeah, the league is still going on. The past few weeks kind of went a little bit off the rails, I suppose. But yeah, so there's a bunch of people in chat. Are these settings correct? I don't know. It's late. I really don't have much time to prep for this, but hey, if we win this is a semifinals. I think I'll definitely upload this, and then either the day before or before this battle itself, I'll have the quarterfinals. So yeah, if we win this game, we make it to the finals of the GDL, which would be pretty awesome. So looking at what Dai wants to lead, I really feel like Toad is a perfect lead for me, honestly. Right? Yeah, I can lead Toad, I can lead Darmanitan even. I feel like he could lead Arcanine if he expects me to lead Darmanitan. Yeah, I think I can lead Toad here, as he leads the Girder. Is this the worst thing ever? I thought he could lead Gerda. That's a little bit annoying, not gonna lie. He could go straight for the bulk up. I can also just switch right into my Lunatone if needed. I'm gonna go ahead, get on my rocks as he goes for the bulk up. That's not necessarily the worst thing ever. I don't need much HP on Toad here, so he could go for the knockoff. I'm gonna Scald just to get some damage. Fish for the burn, maybe. As he goes for the Drain Punch, that's fine. So I'm gonna try to bring in my Lunatone here. Nice and 0. As he's definitely gonna want to switch out here. But, like, if you look at his team, he really has no good switch into this whatsoever. What does he bring in against this? Like, I can just max Mind Stream here. For sure, yeah. I don't think he's running any speed on this either. So we outspeed him naturally. I guess I could have just hard switched right into Lunatone, honestly, as he went for the bulk up. I thought about that, but having rocks up, it's also just really, really handy, honestly. Do I want to max stream right away? Is the thing. How much did he do to us? He did like 31. Alright, so he doesn't have a lot of offense on this girder. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to Mind Stream here. I don't mind the drill coming in, honestly. This is still going to do a lot. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. So, I kind of want to max Quake here. Just because regardless of what he does, I mean, that's fine. Oh, no. Cancel button. So let's see. Drill, how much would this do to us? He doesn't have... No, we're not. Oh, wait. Was he Mold Breaker? I don't even have any idea. Hold on. No, he wasn't Mold Breaker. Yeah, Power. Earth Power there might have been really nice for us. But we can bring in Toad here. That does 0. So from here, we can go ahead and go for the Scald. Grass Knot is actually not that bad either, honestly. I really don't think he stays in here. I kind of want to double. I really want to double here, actually. He could just bring in Girder. Darmanitan's not the best. I feel like I can double here. Having Drill really low already is good for us. He could try to bring in either Gyarados or the Girder on me. I feel like Girder most likely is his safest play, which is why I would like to switch here into Lunatone, honestly. Max speed, I really thought he would bring Skuntank. Turtonator could be a little bit annoying. I could double into Darmanitan, maybe. I mean, if we both switch, he switches out before me, is a thing. So we know Girder's super fat right now. Zen Headbutt would do a really good chunk of damage. Unfortunately, Drain Punch would still not still knock us out, it looks like. He's got Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Ice Punch. Most likely he does have the Mach Punch. I could double into Noivern. That would allow us to potentially Hurricane. I feel like Lunatone is a good double here, though. Yeah, he might not have knockoff, actually. Hold on. We could Scald. How much did Scald do earlier? He did 25. Oh yeah, this is like max, but definitely. It's gotta be. Oh, close to it, if anything. Yeah, Girder makes sense. That's fine. As we get the burn. Again, not the worst thing ever. As we can just bring back in Lunatone here. And we get our berry. So now the question is, does he stay in? Does he switch out? I can Power Gem here. I could also Trick Room, honestly. Would it be worth doubling? I might double, honestly. Psychic could possibly knock him out. Yeah. Psychic will knock him out here. If he brings in Drill... even after Roxy lives. Was it Leftovers Drill? I have no idea. He knows we have the Psychic. And the Power Gem. I mean, not the Power Gem, sorry, the Earth Power. I kind of want a Psychic here. Like, even if a Drill comes in, it's not the worst thing ever. I really want a Psychic. Yeah, because if I Trick Room here, Psychic might be my better play. Oh, okay, good. I'll take that. Because now... Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll take that. I'll gladly take that. Because now we can definitely knock this out. His last move should be Mach Punch is what I'm assuming. Earth Power is not that bad here. That's fine. This thing is weak. I can bring in Toad. And we can Scald and just get a kill. Alright, so Girder was definitely a giant problem. I'm sure I mentioned that in the team builder before this. But I can definitely just Scald here pretty safely. But yeah, I almost Trick Room there. I almost Trick Room thinking he would bring in the Drill, but luckily he didn't. So that's fine. Down goes Girder. Drill is weakened. We have Rocks up, so I don't know. I mean, he could have triple boots. He could definitely have triple boots here. So in comes the Gyarados. I'm gonna Grass Knot this because it does an instant huge amount of damage. 25%, that's fine. Actually, no, that might have been bad. No, I think I choked. Yeah, damn. I didn't think about it. I was so fixated on him being sub. I lost, yeah. This is just gonna... This is gonna most likely just sweep me. I'm gonna try to bring in Noivern. No, what? It should have been Draco and not Boots. Alright, so he's confused, which is good for us as we can bring in our Grimmsnarl here. I kind of want to bulk up and just risk it. That might be my best play. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. So we can bring in Toad here. Gyarados is not setting up again. I Scald here every time for free and just get a kill. Yeah, that's fine. He might bounce, is what I'm expecting. I thought about Grass Knotting there. That would have been really nice, actually. Oh, and he misses! Oh, wow, whoa, okay. Okay, honestly, from the, 100%, I completely forgot that Gyarados got Power Whip. Wow. Yeah, okay, that Power Whip. Yeah, that's pretty huge, honestly, because, look at his team. Toad, Yeah, Toad is a giant threat. Toad is a giant threat, honestly. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. That's really, really huge. That's really huge. Oh, dude, if I had Earthquake on Darmanitan, that would be really great right now. I mean, Dai can still win because Turtonator is such a problem. Honestly, Turtonator is a huge, huge issue. As in comes the Drill, he doesn't knock us out. I mean, I need to stay in and just Scald. Yeah, that's not going to knock us out. Down goes the Drill. Alright, that's great. Arcanine could come in here. Yeah, Arcanine is also really damn annoying, especially if it has close combat. Especially if Arcanine has close combat, this thing is a giant problem. So Hippowdon definitely has to have Slack Off, Earthquake, and Whirlwind. Is what I'm thinking. Unless he is... No, why is that timid? Hold on, what? Okay, so even if he's max attack, he has only an 18% chance to knock us out. Adamant has about a 68% chance. As in comes the Turtonator, I need to Earth Power this. What if he's Weakness Policy? I need to Earth Power either way. Alright, so down goes Turtonator. In comes the Hippowdon. Wait, what? Oh, we can Scald now. Burn? No burn. As he body presses. Okay. Why not Dynamax? Huh? Okay, to be fair, I can understand if Dai's upset. I would have been upset too. Like, as I mentioned, I completely forgot that Gyarados learned Power Whip. I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I completely blanked on that. But then from there, I guess I could have brought in maybe Silvally. Like, Silvally was my best answer at that point. Alright, so, yeah, we are able to move on to the finals of the GDL against either Monotui or Ogle. Yeah, either Ogle. Bleh, sorry. So, yeah, a bit of an unfortunate ending there. I don't know. Like, if I lost Toad, was it game? I don't know. It was... It might have... I don't know. I think Dai definitely could have still won. I mean, Gyarados died off to Sand, so it would have been a double down at that point. So it's just a matter of what does he bring in. I probably would have brought in Grimmsnarl or either Darmanitan. I guess Silvally. Yeah, Silvally honestly also came in and dealt with whatever he potentially brought in against me. So yeah, unfortunately, we do win there. Potentially off of the miss. I'm not 100% sure. Theory can go so far, but it definitely did suck that he missed the Power Whip there. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, hit that thumbs up button down below. Again, I don't know if this will be after my quarterfinals match or if this will be uploaded the day after that. But hey, we made it to the finals. Either way, I will see you guys in the finals. So later, everybody.
My brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, hoping.